Okay, oil pressure looks good. Circuit breakers are still in. Go up to 70-75%.
Well, you want to wait for the
clutch light
out, yeah.
Wait for clutch light out, then check the circuit breakers.
So until then, go ahead and roll it off just a little to get out of that yellow arc.
What does that yellow arc do?
Between 60 and 70%, you can get harmonic resonance. You might hear it called sympathetic resonance.
Okay.
That's when the engine and the tail rotor are kind of a similar RPM, so they kind of match up the vibration, and it can damage the tail. Prolong, you know, it's not like it's going to do it quickly, but like the 44 doesn't have that because they're not similar enough RPM.
Okay, clutch lights out, circuit breakers are in. Now we'll warm it up to 70-75.
Okay.
Okay. Engine gauges are almost in the green, so we'll wait. We listen to ATIS.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Available landing distance 4,250 feet. Burbank runway hold short restrictions. Notices to airmen. Taxiway Bravo closed north of Bravo 1 to the approach end of runway 15. Clearance delivery and ground control combined on 123.9er. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Charlie.
Charlie.
Burbank Airport ATIS information, Charlie. 15530. Wind calm. Visibility 4. Haze. Few clouds at 900. Temperature 2.11. Altimeter 2987. ILS runway 8 approach in use. Arriving and departing runway 8 and runway 15. Land and hold short operations in effect for non-turbojet aircraft landing runway 15. Available landing distance 4,250 feet. Burbank runway hold short restrictions. Notices to airmen. Taxiway Bravo closed north of Bravo 1 to the approach end of runway 15. Clearance delivery and ground control combined on 123.9er. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Charlie.
Okay. Let's do the mag drop. That's better.
Turn right, Papa 3355.
Okay. Engine gauges are now in the green. Right magneto. Okay. Okay, we look good. Carb heat. Like it's working. Brake clutch, check.
Burbank Tower Southwest 2076 on the RNAV to runway 8.
That was 2076 Burbank Tower, wind 1206,
Okay.
runway 8, clear to land.
Clear to land runway 8, Southwest
Doors are closed and latched. Now they are. Limit map chart, so we're at 21. Turn that. We're at 21. So it looks like we have about 8.6, 2.7. Okay. Collective friction off.
Governor just wants to roll up.
Yeah, it does. Well, we'll let it because that's the next step, so. Okay, warning lights are out, so we'll check the collective. Okay, that works. I'll put this away.
And then real quick, I always do like a once-over, especially my avionics.
Okay.
So we know we've heard them, so we have tower frequency.
Yeah.
And then you want to make sure whatever else you needed set up, but we're only going to stay on tower.
Okay.
We're in the ALT, which we are.
Yeah.
And then make sure it's 1200 to start out. So you can press 1200, or you can just do VFR.
Got it.
And that will automatically put 1200 in.
Okay. And so, I mean, the last time we kind of did the loop around in the R44, we had to enter in a new frequency when we're going into Van Nuys's airspace.
Remain south runway 10 center line.
Yeah, sometimes if you're just staying here in the pattern, they'll give you a code.
Okay.
And how they'll tell you to do it is they say squawk,
South of your position, no factor.
you know, 0267 or whatever.
Okay.
And all you do is just 0267 like you did with 1200.
Got it. Okay.
All right, so everything looks good.
I think we're all good to go.
All right, so we have information Charlie. We're going to stay in the pattern.
Okay.
So whenever you're ready, you can make that call to them.
Okay.
Please send approved caution by turbulence.
Burbank Tower, helicopter 853 Romeo Sierra at Atlantic, requesting to join the departure pattern with Charlie.
Helicopter 853 Romeo Sierra, Burbank Tower. Free position on taxiway Delta and hold.
We'll hold Delta 3 Romeo Sierra.
All right.
Okay.
Please 3, try to 3 miles east of your position, descending out 2,500 inbound San Monica, Cessna.
Please 3, we'll be looking, we'll stay low level.
Southwest 2076, turn right, taxi your gate, send me, have a good day.
Good day, Southwest 2076.
Helicopter 3 Romeo Sierra, taxiway Delta, present position, clear for takeoff, make left traffic, runway 8.
Clear for takeoff, we'll make left traffic, runway 8.
You always want to say your tail too.
Yeah, all right.
Not a big deal, but sometimes they'll get on you for it. Or Whiteman definitely will.
That's a pretty cool plane, the black one.
Yeah, it's got an awesome paint job. Probably gets extremely hot, but when you're flying, it doesn't matter.
Price to pay to look cool.
That's true. I still think about things as like from a mechanic's perspective.
Yeah.
Please 3 is clear to the south.
Please 3, pre-CU shoot, actually there'll be no factor, you'll be passing below and they're sending out 2,400 out directly off your left.
We're still looking for that traffic, we'll stay north of the approach, of course, Police 3.
Please 3, roger, thank you. Remain this frequency, I'll let you know once they pass.
Police 3.
This is probably wide enough for the downwind.
Yeah. Do you think are we on runway 8?
Yeah, left traffic runway 8.
Oh.
I got a 3 Romeo Sierra, runway 8, west Delta 7, clear touch and go.
Runway 8, clear touch and go, 3 Romeo Sierra.
And you might say west of Delta 7.
Right.
Because technically right now, we wouldn't get in trouble if we used the entire runway, because they didn't correct you.
Okay.
So sometimes they'll come back and be like, just, it's west of Delta 7.
Got it. What happens when I take a week off?
I know. It doesn't take long. Flying and everything associated with it is a perishable skill.
Okay.
Please 3, roger, radar search, turn 8. Keep go, contact Sam.
Alright, so we'll just do a nice normal approach and,
1.1, please 3, getting.
and we'll aim for that number.
Okay, the gauges are green. Pull our car P.
Burbank Airport Base Delta, now current Burbank altimeter 2988.
Been low pressure here lately. Normally it's like 3010, 29 or 88.
Aiming for the numbers.
Yeah.
1, Charlie Delta Burbank Tower, Burbank altimeter 2988.
2988, 371 Charlie Delta.
Cirrus 1, Charlie Delta radar contact.
Is there possibly like 5 following the repeated in 7,500 and third 2000 my call?
Cirrus 1, Charlie Delta, roger, I'm working on that for you now.
Very nice approach, nice and smooth. And let's bring it all the way down to set it down.
Okay.
Don't worry about the ground, just like way outside. There we go, nice.
Much easier than the 4 to 4. But hopefully it'll get better today.
Yeah, it will.
Okay.
Alright, let's pick it up and we'll get on the go. So try to just come to a hover first, look at your power.
Okay.
Just lower that, yeah. So just come up nice and slow just to a hover, then slowly go forward.
Got it.
For that takeoff.
Burbank Tower, good morning, Gulfstream 650 Golf Uniform.
The slower you go forward cyclic, the less power you need for your takeoff.
Cirrus 1, Charlie Delta, cancel out 2 restriction, cut to SoCal departure 124.6, you have
There
a
we
nice
go.
day.
24.6 today.
Gulfstream 650 Golf Uniform, Burbank Tower, roger, waiting AFR release.
Hold short 15 Golf Uniform.
There's 0 Golf Uniform, wind 1106, runway 15, clear for takeoff. Helicopter traffic operating runway 8, restricted west of the intersection.
15 clear for takeoff, Golf Uniform.
There 3 Romeo Sierra, wind 1106, runway 8, west Delta 7, clear touch and go.
Runway 8, west of Delta 7, clear touch and go, 3 Romeo Sierra.
Nice. Nailed it.
Took me a minute.
Alright, let's do a shallow approach this time. But since we have the fence in the road, let's aim for the
1,000 foot marker.
Yeah, 1,000's fine. That way we're not very close to the road, but we'll do a nice shallow approach, 1,000 foot markers. When you land at the 1,000 foot markers though, the takeoff, you need to try to get that altitude and speed.
Use more power.
Quickly, yeah, so we'll use as much power as we have. Looks like they had bed bugs too.
Yeah. That's gonna freak you out for a while.
Yeah, I changed hotels, obviously, and the first thing I did was rip up the sheets and check.
Jesus.
But
Alright.
it was a nice place.
Gauges are green, carpet.
Very nice, we're perfectly in line. Nice shallow approach angle.
There's
Good
0 Golf
walking
Uniform,
pace.
SoCal departure, you have a safe flight.
Golf Uniform, good day.
Good thing we put the doors on.
Yeah,
Because it's comfortable in here. I don't know how it would be without them.
I think it would be a little too cold. Yeah, it feels good. Always feels like you're in a parade flying around in this thing. I need candy.
Everyone likes to look at helicopters.
It is nice not being hated by the masses. Well, some of them. Some hate helicopters. Very nice approach. That was really good. Consistent all the way down. Alright, now come down to a nice low hover, then we'll set it down.
Okay.
All right, so let's pick it up. So just come up, hold a nice stable hover. I like to do, you know, same as the pre-landing checks, but while I'm hovering, just check everything before I commit to taking off.
Okay. Okay, all the gauges are green. Like we're good.
All right, then nice and slow forward, a little bit slower. There we go. Now you keep going forward, just get that 45 knots as quick as we can. We'll climb out, very good. And then right here, let's pull a little bit more power, let's pull like 22, just to try to climb. Very nice. All right, now let's do a steep approach.
Okay.
And we can go for the number 8.
Okay.
Steep approach. Got someone on final or helicopter, it looks like. Let's widen out a little bit. Helicopter 3, Romeo Sierra, downwind runway 8, we have the helicopter approaching in sight.
3 Romeo Sierra, wind 130, 4 Romeo West Delta 7, clear touch and go.
Runway 8, West Delta 7, clear touch and go, helicopter 3, Romeo Sierra.
Please send drive directly east of your position, the pattern for runway 8, helicopter has you in sight. Please send out that traffic info, we'll maintain visual separation.
Police.
Yeah, whenever you don't hear anything on the radio and there's someone just coming right at you, I like to just let the tower know.
Okay.
What's going on.
I feel like the police do whatever they want.
Yeah, they kind of do. I guess they get used to that.
They do.
Just turning, keep the code contact Wyman Tower 135.0. You have a good day. Please stand pushing, thanks.
Very nice.
Skywest 5361, Burbank Tower.
Control of the pace, the
restricted
speed.
west of your intersection, operating runway 8, wind 1305, runway 15. Clear for takeoff.
All right, so go ahead and pick it up to a hover. All right, mic controls.
Do you have the controls?
Mic controls. I'm going to show you a takeoff. Sometimes it's kind of easy just when you're observing.
Okay.
So when we're going to take off here, and I'm controlling my height just with the cyclic. So you know how much cyclic, if you're doing too much or not enough forward, just based on if you're climbing, descending, or how it feels.
Okay.
All right, so warning lights red, RPM on the green, gauges are green, 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 fuel is good. All right, so eyes way outside. And without pulling any more power, if I just go forward, nice and slow, we'll start moving forward. If I go forward fast, we descend.
Right.
If I don't go forward, obviously we are just gonna maintain a hover. So I'm just gonna go forward nice and slow. And then we'll hit ETL that rumble. I go more forward, a little bit of right pedal when I hit that. Just continue. And then, so there's a little dip, so I'm gonna come aft a little bit. And then see how we're just gonna slowly raise up?
Yeah.
I don't want to, so I'm gonna keep going forward. And I'm letting these like you feel these little deviations.
Yeah.
So keep going forward, and there's 45. Then I let it climb up at, and well, I want to slightly accelerate to 60 knots while I'm climbing up.
Okay.
And that was all at about 20 inches of power. So you don't need to pull power necessarily. Obviously that takes a lot longer. I mean, we used a lot of the runway.
Right.
But like if you're at a high altitude, high gross weight situation, you don't have any more power to pull.
Right.
But you just maintain, a lot of people, you know, they'll be messing with the collective during the takeoff. You can pull your power, but then leave it and use the cyclic for your height.
Okay.
All right, your controls?
I have the controls.
Your controls?
Helicopter 3 Romeo Sierra, runway 8, west of Delta 7, clear touch and go.
Runway 8, west of Delta 7, clear touch and go, 3 Romeo Sierra.
Sky 5361, traffic to helicopter operating runway 8, restricted west of 15.
5361.
All right, let's do a straight in auto this time. So we'll climb up to 13, and we'll just maintain that. And we'll aim for the 500-foot markers.
Okay.
Alright, we're on the downwind, so let's do our pre-landing checks.
Okay, gauges are green, pull the car P.
Skyhawk 441 Lima, Burbank, radar contact, Burbank altimeter 29 or 88. Are you headed for the special flight rules or are you landing Santa Monica?
We're going to circle out around Griffith and then cut back to San Marco.
41 Lima, radar southbound 5's approved.
41 Lima, welcome.
Got a couple birds here.
We're okay.
Alright, so you might feel me on it a little bit. It's been a week or so.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually 2 weeks, hasn't it?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Alright, eyes outside.
Eyes outside.
Enter in 3, 2, 1. Down, collective right pedal out cyclic, a little up collective at the bottom. Rotors in the green. Airspeed's a little slow, but let's go a little down collective and forward cyclic to get that airspeed back. Rotors, airspeed, trim, landing zone. Rotors are in the green, looks good. Airspeeds are at 60, looks good. Trim's good. We're at level attitude.
Yeah.
Landing zone. Now just look outside. Wait for that 40 feet. Right here, start flare aft cyclic. Looking inside at your rotor RPM. Eyes back outside, up collective left pedal forward, 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 forward. Level attitude. Right there. And then that's how we touch down. If it was a full auto.
Yeah.
Really nice, right to the number. All right, let's get on the go.
On the go.
Very nice.
Try just using the cyclic here.
Good auto. Everything, you know, nice and smooth inputs. So when you speed up with forward cyclic, your RPM will go down. If you pull aft to slow down, your RPM will go up. Just like when you flare, it goes up. So that's why when we were about 50 knots towards the beginning, I was like, we need to speed up, so we're going to go forward, with down. That way you don't lose your RPM when you go forward.
Do we practice full touchdown autos?
You won't do those unless you're right about to get your flight instructor certificate.
Okay.
And that's actually the last time I did them also.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of additional hazard doing full downs, obviously.
Yeah.
Because you don't roll the throttle back on. You're just coming all the way down to the ground. They're not very hard. I mean, by the time you're at that level, they're not hard.
Yeah, if we were on grass, I would have felt like we could have done one there. That's why I asked.
It's actually better to do it on a hard surface, like a runway.
Really?
Because unless you're going absolutely 0 knots.
3 Romeo Sierra, runway 8, west of Delta 7, clear touch and go.
Runway 8, west of Delta 7, clear touch and go, 3 Romeo Sierra.
Unless you're absolutely going 0, when you touch down, you're going to slide.
Got it.
If you're on grass, it's going to grip, possibly flip you over.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Are we doing another auto?
Yeah, we'll do another auto.
Climb a little bit. All right, gauges look green. Pull some carb heat. Turn to base.
Just 41 Lima, resume your own navigation.
41 Lima, look up.
All right, so this one, I won't talk through it.
Okay.
So I want you to count yourself down and try to do it.
Got it. Okay. How much space do we need? Like, right about three? About here?
I'd enter in 3,
2, 1. Down collective right pedal, trim, aft cyclic.
Just 41 Lima, radar service terminated. Contact Santa Monica Tower now.
Little up on the collective.
120.1.
41 Lima, 127.1.
No, sir, 120.1.
Correction, 120.1. 41 Lima. At Burbank Tower, good morning, Global 702, Delta Romeo on Alpha, we'll be ready.
Global 702, Delta Romeo, Burbank Tower, waiting IFR release.
Very smooth, very, very smooth. The only thing was we were a little bit aft on our attitude the whole way down.
Okay.
So the airspeed by the time we flared was about 50.
Okay.
So when you're going slow, the flare is not really going to arrest your rate of descent very well.
Okay, so it should be going faster.
Yeah, you want to try to be about 60 if you can help it.
Okay.
So at 200 feet above the ground, the best thing you can do is just to look outside and keep a little forward pressure for that level attitude.
Okay.
Because your brain is going to tell you to come aft.
Okay.
Even when I do an auto, I have to intentionally force myself to keep it forward.
Okay.
All right, let's go ahead and set it down.
Okay. Okay.
All right, then we'll pick it up and take off. This time let's do a max performance takeoff, actually.
Okay.
So just get light on the skids, then from there we'll pop up. All right, watch that power, watch that power.
Oh.
All right, mic controls real quick.
You have the controls?
Mic controls. So max performance takeoff, difficult to do in an R22. I want to make sure the carb beat's all the way in. That's going to give me a little bit more power.
Okay.
And then
What's the 5-minute power on this?
It's just 0.9 more than your max continuous.
Got it, okay.
So if our max continuous is 22.5, about 23.5.
Got it.
All right, so as soon as I get light on the skids, right there.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to pull up to 23.5. So that's the lower part of the red line is 24. So almost to that, just a little bit below.
Okay.
So I'm just going to come up nice and smooth, a little bit of forward, keep coming up all the way to it. And then you can just ride that all the way up. Once I clear the obstacle, then I can go forward more and get my speed.
Okay.
Your controls?
I have the controls?
Your controls. A max performance takeoff takes a lot of touch, a lot of finesse.
Okay.
So it's obviously more difficult, but we'll practice that on the next couple.
Okay.
You can see how it feels like we're way higher than on the other takeoffs.
Right.
Global 2 Delta Romeo traffic is a
All right, we'll do
helicopter
another
runway
auto.
restricted
Okay.
west of 15, runway 15, clear for takeoff.
We'll be looking for the traffic, clear for takeoff, runway 15, 702 Delta Romeo.
island is so flat.
Tiger 3 Romeo Sierra, runway 8 west to Delta 7, cleared touch and go.
Runway 8 west of Delta 7, clear touch and go, 3 Romeo Sierra.
Yeah, the whole state is basically just almost the same level.
I'm trying to think if I've ever been to Maryland. I'm not sure I have. If I've been there, it was when I was very young.
They call them mountains in the west part, but they're like these little rows of hills. But it's nice coming back here and having mountains everywhere.
You'd miss the nice weather.
It was pretty nice there, but very harsh winters.
Global 2 Delta Romeo, contact SoCal departure.
2 Delta Romeo, switching to departure, okay?
Alright, another straight in auto.
Okay.
So, a normal good place is about a steep approach for the entry.
Okay.
So you count down so that when it looks like a steep approach, that's when you enter, and then you just go with your scan from there.
Got it. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. Auto, right pedal. Cycling.
Just a little forward, see how your RPM's high, just go forward on the cyclic, that'll bring it back down.
Okay.
Alright, eyes outside, just maintain this.
Okay.
Flare at 40 feet. Watch that, watch that. So when you flare, just look at your RPM, and you don't want to keep coming aft if it's getting close to the red line. I can't let it get above it.
Right. Right.
Alright, let's gonna do a full stop, just pull that power in. Don't go for aft, just pull your power.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Alright, then set it down.
Okay.
Alright, then let's do a max performance pickup. So push your carb heat in, do your pre-takeoff checks.
Okay, gauges are in the green. Like we're good to go. Okay. So.
Light on the skids, and then from there, I just smoothly pull while I'm watching there with a very slight forward as I'm pulling up, just the tiniest amount forward. So from here, just smooth up with a little forward, keep coming up, left pedal. Now just hold this, just that little forward, not aft, forward. So you need to keep that just slow, slight forward all the way up.
Okay.
And then once you clear your obstacle, then you can pitch forward for 60. Nice and smoothly. There you go.
Okay.
That one was much better. It's a little weird. It's definitely different.
It'll take some practice.
Yeah, just like everything. So everyone's tendency is to have a little bit of aft attitude in an auto.
Okay.
So the RPM was slowly going up.
3 Romeo Sierra, runway 8 west of Delta 7, clear touch and go.
Runway 8 west of Delta 7, clear touch and go, 3 Romeo Sierra.
The RPM was slowly rising.
Okay.
And your airspeed was slowly decreasing.
Okay.
So both of those can easily be remedied with just a little more forward.
Forward cyclic.
And then in the flare, it was a really good flare, nice and smooth, but when I'm flaring, I'm only looking at my rotor RPM.
Okay.
And so I'm watching it, so if it's high, I can't come any more aft, I just hold it. And you can just ride that flare for forever. I mean, sometimes I've been in a flare for hundreds of feet.
Okay.
So you just hold it, that's as far as you can go, and you just stay in a flare until it does what you want.
We will try it again. All right, gauges are green, pull the carb heat.
Yeah, no matter what rating you're on, you're working on autos. So, you know, for the first, I mean, really, you can always improve your autos. Like, even I can improve my autos, but now that you're doing autos, it's like a forever. You can, you know, it's
right.
always just trying to get a little bit better.
Okay. Okay, so almost there. Enter in 3, 2, 1.
So that RPM a little forward, and hold it forward, hold that pressure.
Okay.
Eyes outside. Now we're going fast, so the RPM is going to build, just come up a little on the collective. The RPM is going to build in this flare, so just nice and smooth. It actually didn't build. I came up a little on the collective just to bring the RPM down. So pull your power in to slow down. Up, 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 up. There we go.
Okay.
Alright, then we'll set it down and do a max performance takeoff.
A little rough, but
it's alright.
we're down.
Alright, so pre-takeoff checks, push that curb bead in.
Okay. Get light on the skids. Okay.
And then smooth all the way to that 23.5. Keep coming up, a little tiny bit of forward pressure. Keep coming up, a little forward, more forward. With your peripheral vision, you should feel like we're moving forward this whole time. A little bit more forward. Just keep slowly going forward. There we go. And now we're in ETL, so now we're going to be home free.
Okay.
Very good though. Nice, very smooth inputs.
Echo 3 Romeo Sierra, runway 8 west of Delta 7, clear touch and go.
Runway 8 west of Delta 7, clear touch and go 3 Romeo Sierra.
Alright, so this one I'm going to talk through.
Okay.
And then what is very helpful, and I wish I had started doing it as a student trying to get my private, is talk through the autos like when you're not flying.
Okay.
Like when you're driving, doing things
Right.
like that. Preferably when no one's around because they'll think you're crazy. But what I'll do, you know, I'll talk through the maneuver, and you can pretty much say the same thing every time, unless there's, you know, a deviation, then you need to correct for it.
Okay.
But I'll talk through this one, and it kind of just helps you stay on a pace of looking at everything.
Okay.
Because if you look at any one thing too long, or you don't look at one thing, your auto can suffer from that. So doing a nice scan where you check everything is going to help your auto stay consistent. And there will be little deviations where you need to correct, but it'll help you catch them quickly before it becomes an issue.
Okay.
Alright, so I'll talk through this one, the
Okay.
whole thing. Alright, so we're going to aim for the 500 foot markers, so we're
Okay.
just going to keep waiting a little bit longer. Eyes way outside, straight ahead.
Yep.
Enter in 3, 2, 1.
1.
Down collective, right pedal aft cyclic at the bottom. Little up collective. Rotors, airspeed, trim, landing zone. Rotors, airspeed. The airspeed's a little low, so a little forward. It's going to bring your RPMs down though. Trim, landing zone. Now eyes outside, just keep this forward pressure.
Okay.
Right here, start your flare looking inside at your rotor RPM, looking inside, Eyes back outside, up click the left pedal forward, right to the 500 foot markers. Perfect, very nice. And let's just get on the go, let's do a normal takeoff.
Try not to use any more power, try the whole collective, the cyclic thing.
I've flown with a lot of people who have hundreds and hundreds of hours and they've never had anyone like make them just use the cyclic, like to slowly, smoothly take off. They just yank power and it will make for, that's a very bad habit. But that one day when you don't have the power to pull, you're gonna get yourself in trouble. You're gonna pull power, it's not there. The blade slow down.
3 Romeo Sierra tax, or helicopter 3 Romeo Sierra, runway 8 west of Delta 7, clear touch and go.
Runway 8 west of Delta 7, clear touch and go, 3 Romeo Sierra.
Oil pressure's a little high. I've noticed that when we take off, we pull a lot of power, the pressure goes up, and then once we kind of level off in a cruise, it'll come back down. But it wasn't doing that yesterday when I flew.
Do we need more oil?
If you add oil, it actually increases the pressure.
Oh, really? What's the best thing to do?
The oil pressure can be adjusted by a mechanic, and I think we're going to have to do that. When it gets hotter, the temperature, like the weather, the oil pressure will increase, so a lot of times you'll have to lower it. Like they have to manually adjust.
Right.
Alright, let's go ahead and turn base. That auto is very, very good. Basically, perfect. That would pass the check ride.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah. So, the fact that you're already able to do that is pretty good. You should feel good about that.
I definitely feel a little rusty today, but by tomorrow I think I'll be much better. So.
Yeah, and I mean, it's to be expected. You know, it's not going to be perfect. 2 weeks break, that's a long time. But for where you are right now, you're doing well with these autos, definitely.
Okay.
But if you practice talking like the way I'm talking through it, when you get it back in the helicopter, your scan's going to be quick, and it'll make it super easy.
Okay.
Transitions approved.
Okay. Gauges are green.
Fire 6 feet on
eyes outside. Enter 3, 2, 1.
That's affirmative. Fire 6.
Little bit nose low, so that's why RPM is going to go down like that. There we go. This is perfectly level. You can glance right here.
Got it.
Perfectly level. There's a little aft, so go forward, forward, forward. Right there. Eyes outside. Start the flare. Now looking inside at your RPM. Nice. And you're aiming for the 500s?
Yeah.
Perfect. That's excellent aiming. And just pull that power to slow down. There you go. Very nice. Nicely done.
Now if I'm aiming for the 500s, should I be at the 500s now or no?
No, well, there's ways to flare. I'll do this next one,
Okay.
Just to show you my controls.
You have the controls?
My controls. I'm going to take off and make this pattern just very quick.
7 Tango Bravo Burbank there.
7 Tango Bravo.
So you can manipulate the flare so that you slow down and almost immediately, or you know, by the time you'll hit your spot in the end of the flare. To pass your check ride, it needs to be within 200 feet.
Within 200 feet.
And so some examiners, like, it's where you level off, like when we go forward, we'll still be moving.
That's what I was planning on.
Yeah.
So that was what was in my mind when I was saying, okay, I'm aiming for those, so that's where I'm going to come in on the flare and level off.
And that's realistically, that's where you're going to touch down, that's where they're going to count that.
Yeah, because the sound thing kind of scares me, so I don't...
Right, yeah.
We have a little bit more room for it.
5.3, break there, running 1.
Alright, oil pressure looks good this time.
Take off 15.
Just right on the top of the green.
Right.
Alright, when I start out, our premium green gauges are green, green, green. Fuel is good. Carby is out of the yellow. It's pulled. Trim is off.
Helicopter 3 Romeo Sierra, runway 8 west of Delta 7, cleared touch and go.
Runway 8 west of Delta 7, cleared touch and go, helicopter 3 Romeo Sierra.
Last 523, traffic's a helicopter
All
operating
right.
on runway 8.
Clear right,
west
we're clear forward, clear left.
523.
I'm going to just keep a nice kind of sharp turn all the way around the final, a little bit shorter final here. That way it's quick. All right, so 500 foot markers.
Okay.
All right, eyes outside, enter in 3, 2, 1. Down collective, right pedal, aft cyclic. Little up collective, rotors, airspeed, trim, landing zone. Rotors, airspeed, trim, landing zone. I want, when I'm in this glide, the landing zone to kind of look like it's at the top of the trim strings.
Got it.
At a level attitude. That way when I start this flare down here, I flare, I hold the flare, hold the flare, hold the flare, level, it would basically be right to it.
Got it.
All right, your controls?
I have the controls.
I should have rolled throttle on just a touch sooner. It wouldn't have got the horn just there.
Okay.
Commercial Alaska 523.
All right, let's go ahead and take off.
Radar contact, leaving the 405-101 interchange, transitions approved. Southwest 1009, Burbank Tower, runway 15, clear for takeoff.
Runway 15.
But you can see on that one, the way that I flared, we came almost to a complete stop.
Right.
So that, you know, I'm gonna, not only is that where I level, but that's where I stop into a hover. Just a tiny bit short of the spot though. But there's a lot of different ways you can manipulate that flare. I mean, you can make it so that you come to a full stop.
Right.
I mean, takes a little bit of practice, obviously, but realistically, it's where you level off.
Got it.
Sometimes you'll just slide on, you know, if it was a full down auto, you'll slide, but that's all right. You hit the spot you aimed.
Right.
You're getting to the ground in that nice area, that, you know, clear area. Maybe you slid forward and hit someone's car, but you didn't land on the car.
Runway Sierra, runway 8 west of Delta 7, clear touch and go.
Runway 8 west of Delta 7, clear touch and go, 3 Romeo Sierra.
And obviously that's like hypothetical. You're doing a, you know, full auto into the street.
Yeah.
All right, so on this one, I'm going to introduce entering the auto as if the engine had died.
Okay.
So still just fly set up, and I'll do the auto entry.
Okay.
And I'm going to just show you it's going to be just the same, every control's the same thing, but it's just going to be much quicker.
Okay. The gauges are green, full car heat.
And then on the next one around, I'll have you do it.
Okay. So what are you going to do?
I'll take over the controls right before we enter.
Okay.
And I'm just going to demonstrate. It's just going to be a very quick auto entry, basically.
Got it.
All right, my controls, but
You have the controls?
my controls, but stay on with me.
Okay.
I want you to feel, you know, how fast everything moves.
Okay.
All right, so we're flying along. Everything seems fine, and then out of nowhere, your instructor says something like, engine failure. Dump, trim, level, look at your RPM, rotors, airspeed, trim, landing zone. Rotors, they're coming up, so I'm just going to go actually a little forward pressure.
Okay.
That keeps them right there in the green. But look at the top of the compass, nice and level. Rotors, airspeed, trim, landing zone. Eyes outside.
Yep.
Start the flare rate about 40 feet. Eyes inside at my rotor RPM, keep flaring, throttle on, eyes back outside, up collected left pedal forward. And then we would level and touch down, slide forward a little bit.
Okay.
Your controls?
I have the controls.
Your controls. So just dump, trim, which is going to use a little right pedal because we're getting rid of that collective. Level, which is a little aft, and then look at your RPM. For that entire entry though, you want to just be looking outside.
Got it.
Just like in a regular auto. It's just, everything's quicker. But that collective, don't be afraid, it's basically just punching it down.
Got it.
And obviously you don't need to like try to bend it. I've had some students that like, it's like, whoa dude, you're going to break something. It's just down quickly.
Clear for takeoff, runway 15, 7 Tango Bravo.
Amazing how much shit people have in their backyards.
It is, and on the roof, some of the people.
Yeah.
So much storage space on the roof that is unused for most people.
Hoarders, I mean, jeez. So bad.
Yeah. It's like, do you really need 17 ladders? I don't know, maybe you do.
Maybe some people do, I don't know.
Please stand clear to the south.
Please stand radar service terminated. Squawk VFR frequency change approved.
Please stand.
Are they going to talk to us soon?
If he doesn't, when you turn base, just tell him you're turning base runway 8.
Tell them now.
Yeah.
And I got 3 runway 0, runway 8 west of Delta 7, clear touch and go.
Runway 8 west of Delta 7, clear touch and go, 3 Romeo Sierra. Speak of the devil. A little bit farther out, but...
Alright, in general, it's better to have a long final. I've had a lot of students not do well on like stage rides and stuff flying with people who are kind of examining them because they try to cut their final really short, then when they turn final, they're like, oh, I need to adjust, everything's wrong. If you have a nice long final, you have plenty of time, you know, fix everything. So on a check ride, give yourself a nice long final.
Burbank Charter, runway 15, clear for takeoff. Traffic is a helicopter in pattern for runway 8, restricted west of 15.
Alright, so we're just flying, looking straight ahead.
Okay.
And then it's just going to be a quick entry for an auto.
Okay.
And engine failure. Dump, trim, level, look. So just come up on your RPM, up collective. There we go, rotors, airspeed, trim. Now look at your compass, just come level it up right there.
Okay.
Rotors, come up on the collective, a little bit, airspeed, trim, eyes outside.
27
Start
Tango
the
Bravo,
flare.
contact SoCal departure.
Just looking inside of your RPM, keep flaring, eyes outside, up collective left pedal forward, all the way to level. You want to come to here.
Right. Okay.
Good, very good.
Okay.
All right.
Definitely a little different, but not
it's
much different.
Yeah, it's the same thing, it's just quick. Still smooth, but you know, quick.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get used to a lot of the little adjustments.
Yeah, there's a lot, and you can see if you enter it quickly, it's like, all right, my attitude's not as good. And then you kind of have to, while you're scanning, like, okay, I'm adjusting it. And that's why I was saying, if you can enter at your own pace, it'll make your auto much better.
Okay.
That is how I was entering all my autos as a student for the first couple hundred hours.
Well, that's not good.
Or yeah, like 150 hours or so. So, I mean, I was able to do it. It was just way harder than it had to be. But my entries for the engine malfunction were good.
Runway 8 west of Delta 7, clear touch and go.
Runway 8 west of Delta 7, clear touch and go, 3 Romeo Sierra.
All right, I think we'll maybe do 2 more.
Okay.
So this one, then we'll, on our go, this next one, we'll request a full stop.
Okay.
All right, you want to practice that one more time?
Sure.
Okay.
Southwest 3355, contact SoCal departure.
3355 going to departure today.
Really nice day so far.
It is.
And okay.
A little smoggy, but...
Yeah. But that's to be expected.
It's much worse in the summer.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of it just seems like it's just moisture from the ocean, though.
It's not. I'd like to think that, but what do you see in the summer? It'd just be like this brown cloud on really hot days.
Yeah, yesterday there was just a high brown layer over LA, but
Yeah.
not over the San Fernando Valley. I'm like, oh, that's kind of nice.
Yeah, there'll be some days where you're like, oh, I wonder if that's haze, and then you kind of see the color. And I mean, there's some haze here for sure, but
Yeah.
you can tell it's a little smoggy.
It is dusty too, like that kind of yellowy dust.
Well, it was windy this week too. So.
All right, so everything's looking good. Just flying along, the engine's working just fine. And then engine failure. Dump, full down, trim, level, look. So just a little quicker with that. Rotors, airspeed, trim, landing zone. Rotors, airspeed. So the rotors are coming up, just go forward to that level attitude. That'll bring them back down. Right there, the top of the compass looks good. Eyes outside. Now we're falling fast, so just nice and slow with this flare. You can see how the RPM went up.
Right.
All right, I'm rolling on. Eyes outside, up, left, and forward. So what's going to make your RPM build fast in a flare is if you're going fast, which we were, and if you're falling fast, which we were.
Right.
And you'll kind of sense just the way that feels when you're coming down.
Okay.
But if you know you're going fast and you know you're falling fast, you have to flare way slower.
Okay. Should I request the full stop?
Yeah, on the go, request full stop.
Helicopter 3 Romeo Sierra on the go, requesting full stop to Atlantic.
Perfect.
Helicopter 3 Romeo Sierra, runway 8 cleared to land, remain west of 15, and then Delta 8 to Atlantic this frequency.
Should I repeat it?
Yeah.
Runway 8 cleared to land, 3 Romeo Sierra.
Remain west of 15. I've got it. And we'll remain west of 15, Delta 8 to Atlantic, 3 Romeo Sierra.
Thank you.
Yeah, technically, if we just say runway 8, we've got the whole runway. Normally, they immediately tell you, correct you, but this guy seems to be pretty relaxed.
Okay, I like that. The learning process.
Yeah. They understand. They know what we're doing here. We're doing flight instructions. All right, so this one, last one. So if you want, we can just do normal auto. We can do a normal approach, whatever you feel like you'd like to do.
Whatever you think needs the most work. I mean.
Let's do a normal approach.
Okay.
Not that they're bad at all, but it's a good thing, not to stick with, kind of mix it up a little bit.
Okay.
South 2076, contact SoCal departure.
Switching out Southwest 2076.
RP gauge green. A little bit of wind.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of a crosswind where you can see that sock. Very nice. Really smooth. Everything's feeling really good.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think our next flight, we'll go up to Santa Clarita area and just kind of do a bunch of emergency practice. That way, you want to be ready, emergency-wise for your solo, because I'm not there.
Obviously, yeah.
So we'll focus on emergency procedures for a bit.
Okay.
And then we'll get you soloing before too long.
All right.
Yeah, already right now, your skill,
Burbank,
you could solo.
2643 Lima,
some of it,
ready for takeoff.
It's more just from this point on going to be, you're feeling like you're okay to solo, more than it is really gaining more skill. confidence is a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
And it's something you have to, you don't give it to yourself, you have to earn it for yourself. Alright, so just nice and relaxed, but let's come back just a little bit, like probably about 4 feet.
Okay.
And don't look down at the ground if you can help it, look out. Just try to use your peripheral vision, which is much easier said than done. Actually, pretty good positioning.
Good positioning. Oh, I was gripping.
Yeah, so full down. I'm gonna, real quick though, just move us a little bit back.
Okay.
My controls?
You have the controls?
My controls. Just a little tiny bit. We want that black stripe and then there's a yellow stripe. Our skid just to be behind it. Alright, your controls?
I have the controls.
Your controls?
Yeah, I'll have to work on the touchdown.
Well, yeah. But where you are, it's acceptable for sure.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
You don't start out perfect with anything. Alright, I didn't roll throttle down, so go ahead and roll that down. I'm not expecting you to be doing any maneuver perfectly right now.
Okay.
But I would say you're doing better than the vast majority of people at the amount of hours you're at.
Okay, I'll take your word for it, again. Alright, frictions are on. Wait for the cylinder head to drop.
Yeah, it's one thing, it's
Burbank airport information echoes now, current Burbank
one of those
altimeter 2980.
things, you know, as a student, it's kind of difficult because you see, you know, the way that your instructor flies.
Right.
And it's like, all right, I can't fly as
Right.
well as he can. But I wasn't flying very well. You know, nobody does. So it's difficult because you're comparing yourself to an unrealistic expectation.
So, I mean, how lenient are they on the check ride? I mean,
there's definitely, you know, just black and white standards.
okay.
But, I mean, right now you're, what, about 11 hours or so?
11, 12 hours, yeah.
So you have to have a minimum of 50. So think about what you're going to be, yeah.
To do the check ride?
To do your check ride.
Oh, I thought it was 40.
Or I said 50, what am I thinking? 40.
Right.
In my mind, I even visualized 40, said 50.
Right.
Yeah, 40 hours. So, I mean, you're going to be basically 4 times better than you are right now.
Okay, I'll take that's a good thing.
Yeah, 4 times the amount of hours you have. So the check ride is going to be pretty easy.
Okay.
When you go to it, you're gonna know walking in that you're gonna pass. That's the way I like to prepare.
Yeah, I agree with that. Just as with any test.
Right.
You're not going to go and do it until you're ready.
But like with the autos, that's what most people fail, is their autos. But with the autos, you have 200 feet.
Let's disengage.
So as long as you come down and where you level off is within 200 feet of what he told you to aim for,
yeah,
you're gonna pass.
And do we do those here or up at Charlie Canyon or both?
They're probably gonna be at Charlie Canyon.
Okay.
But that's what most people fail on. I've never had anyone fail for like a different maneuver.
It's the autos?
Well, actually, I've never had a student fail except for an instrument check ride.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah. So all of my students who've been like a VFR, like private or commercial, they've passed. But yeah, but most people in general, they fail autos.
Okay. It's been about 30 seconds.
Okay. So like your normal approaches, your hovering, taxiing, all of that, you don't even have to worry about that. That's going to be completely fine by that time. And even the autos, the way you're flying right now, like I was saying, like that one for sure would pass a commercial check ride.
Okay.
It was right to the spot. So the aiming couldn't have been better. A commercial check ride, you have to be within 100 feet.
Okay.
Which a lot of people, they think like 100 feet's 1,000 feet. You know, like, you aim for
right.
the numbers, you land on the 1,000 feet, and they're like, that was pretty close. Like, in the grand scheme of things, yes, it was pretty close, but that's 1,000 feet. That's 5 times your limit in a private check ride. But most of these, the aiming was was right there, perfect. And that's what people typically.
Yeah, I just didn't know whether to aim where I'm leveling off or
yeah,
where I want to try and stop.
It's where you level off, but as you get more experience in the flare, where you level off is going to be about where you come to a hover.
Right.
Like you can see with mine, I flare and I flare pretty far back. So I mean the RPM may not get really high because I'm flaring back slowly, but we're coming pretty far back,
right,
and then leveling off. And every flare will be different because of the wind difference, and there's a lot of variables. But the flare it can be manipulated a lot. You can really use it to